the good Lord said, try to love one another. It's all about the give and the take. And if all you do is take, then you need to stop complaining. Just 'cause the sun don't shine, quit your whining and your crying. Try to feed a hungry child. And what about Darfur? Is there anybody out there trying to stop people from dying? Tear down this wall, life is too short. Let's declare peace and not war. A new day is knocking, baby, open up the door. Try to make things a little better than before. Lift every voice and sing. In the words of Dr. King, let's let freedom ring. And people of the world sing along. I wanna hear a chorus 10 billion strong. And tell someone you care, 'cause you never know when they might not be there. And let your little light shine. The gift that you give just might save a life. And open up your eyes. Don't be blind to the lies when you know wrong from right. It all depends on you. When it's time to make a move, are you gonna come through? Tear down this wall, life is too short. Let's declare peace and not war. A new day is knocking, baby, open up the door. Try to make things a little better than before. Lift every voice and sing. In the words of Dr. King, let's let freedom ring. And people of the world sing along. I wanna hear a chorus 10 billion strong. One more thing you ought to do. Many soldiers died and they died for you. Thank the American troops for a heart so true. For the red, white, and blue. Stand up and do what's right. Forget about yourself and put our differences aside. That's why I'm singing this song. I want the whole world to see that we can get along. Tear down this wall, life is too short. Let's declare peace and not war. A new day is knocking, baby, open up this door. Try to make things a little better than before. Lift every voice and sing. In the words of Dr. King, let's let freedom ring. And people of the world sing along. I wanna hear a chorus 10 billion strong. Everything is gonna be fine. Let me see you smile with American pride. Put our differences aside. Let's join hands, every woman, every man. Americans side by side. God's nation here's to the stars and the stripes. Home of the brave who had to die. And you can put that on a thing called American pride. Lift every voice and sing. Let freedom ring. Let the whole world sing. People of the world sing along. I wanna hear a chorus 10 billion strong.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi, Janice. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
It is so good to see you again.
Yes, you too.
You know, we met 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
2 weeks ago. It seems like you're the long-lost sister I never had. I have a big brother. He's 10 years older than I am, so, you know, he was pretty much the boss of me. Did you have older siblings or younger siblings?
Yeah, I have 7 brothers and 3 sisters, but 2 are deceased. 1 living sister now, and all 7 brothers still
Unbelievable. That's a great big family, a support group. You have your own support group.
Well, some may call it that.
Family is family,
Yeah.
you know. And do they all live in Grand Rapids?
All but one. One just moved to Detroit with his daughter to help her with her children because she's a correction officer and she's out of the house a lot. So he's helped get them off to school and things like that.
So, you know, I bet if you ever called on any of them, they would be around.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the reason I'm here today is to start my talk show called Talking God and Guns with Janice. And that's me. I'm Janice, and I want to welcome my very first guest, Barbara Thomas.
Hello.
When I first met Barbara, I met her through my friend Gayle, Pollard, and she is the funeral director and mortician of Fountain Funeral Home, which has facilities here in Grand Rapids that she has a space that she's renting, and but she is originally from Muskegon, and the funeral home in Muskegon is active and busy. Unfortunately, death doesn't take any holidays or any rests. So my company, my organization is a non-profit L3C called Gun Death Theater, and what I plan to do is bring awareness to gun violence victims, the survivors, the politics surrounding legislation, and social issues concerning crime and justice, criminal justice system, the trauma that's involved, and I don't want to harp on the problems. I want to try to create solutions, and I want to bring people together, and that's where God comes in because it's all about love. And you know, I love everybody. Sounds corny, but you know, I try not to harbor hate in my heart, and because it doesn't do any good, and it makes you sick. But when you feel like you've had an injustice done, you can't help but have some emotions and feelings and anger, and that's why I want to interview and find out what happens in the aftermath. And I thought probably the funeral parlor is the first place to start.
Yeah.
And Gayle has told us both that she is the person who sees the immediate aftermath, and it's got to be a tough job. And she believes that it's more ministry than it is, just for bereavement, but she's there for that too. And so now that she's introduced Barbara to me, I just want everyone to know about Barbara's lost loved one, and that would be Timothy Thomas. I have a picture of him here, and we'll learn a lot more about Timothy because I plan to resurrect Timothy's image, his spirit, and in a certain way, I want to bring him back in image, because these are the people that get forgotten. And not only do they get forgotten, but the families get forgotten too, because after the news story and all the news trucks go, there's not much. There's not much unless there's some resolution in the court system, and that doesn't always happen. They don't always catch the person that committed the crime. If there was a crime, even if it's accidental, there's not a whole lot of resolution that you can get other than on your own.
Right.
So I want to talk to you, Barbara, and can you tell me again the story of how Timmy passed? It was I had a very, you told me the story, and it's so incredulous. You have 3 sons, and thank God you still have 2 sons. But tell me what happened to your son, Timothy.
Timothy had been in an argument with a guy, individual who couldn't let go of his anger. They argued about Timothy supposedly taking something out of this guy's car. There were a lot of individuals around who saw this individual put what he put in his car. But I guess he chose the weakest on the link, thinking that Timothy would back down from him or whatever. They argued. Supposedly, they made resolution as to say, okay, it's squash. Squash meaning they made up, they shook hands.
Right,
Man, it's over with. This individual basically perpetrated making up. He still had ill feelings. That day, after the argument, at that time, he didn't know the young lady's house that he went to was my niece. He called himself liking her. He went over there kind of venting, and she asked him, you know, what's wrong? And he was like, oh, nothing. And she was like, you can't tell me something's wrong. You're displaying a lot of anger. He then opened up to her and asked her, did she know a young man named Timmy? And at that time, you know, I guess something must have clicked in her to say no, you know, to be able to get more information. And he was like, he drives the blue Cuddy, he lives on Warden Street. So after, you know, one of those antique cars. So after he described the vehicle, she told him that's my mother's sister's son, and because he had stated that he would kill him. And she was like, yeah, he was like, I'm gonna kill the little nigger. And she was like, you know what, you can get out of my house. That's my cousin. That's my first cousin, blah, blah, blah. And he said, oh, no, I'm just venting. I'm just kicking out words. I don't really mean what I'm saying, you know. So,
Trying to catch yourself.
Yeah, he did eventually leave her home. She contacted me. Well, she contacted her older sister. Her older sister contacted me. They told me about what had happened. Excuse me. I asked Timmy about the situation. Kids those days don't like to tell mom what they're off into, you know, not knowing that that's the best thing to do, so that if something does happen to you, mom has a pretty good feel as to who done this. We talked about it. He told me the same thing, Mom. We squashed that. Me and him made up. Ain't nothing going on. He really thought. So he really led Timmy to believe that it was over with. So when they contacted me, the individual that I had a rapport with at that time told me, you know, your son got some warrants for driving. You need to call the police and have him locked up. I also asked Timmy's father, who was incarcerated at the time. He told me not to have Timmy locked up. So, you know, it was like I was between a rock and a hard place as to what to do. So I listened to his father, and I didn't have Timmy locked up. So
that's a hard decision.
This young man, again, perpetrating that he was in Detroit at the time of Timmy's death, calling my niece through a three-way phone conversation to make it seem as though he was in Detroit, so he wouldn't be a suspect. So he was very criminal-minded.
He was creating an alibi.
Yes, he basically premeditated everything, thought out his plan and everything as to how he was going to kill my son and how he was going to execute it. He followed Timmy around for days. My house had gotten broken into. At that time, I never really thought of anything back to that, but now when I look back at it, I'm like, wow, it probably was him up in my house. Timmy felt like somebody was following him. He had a girlfriend over one night, and she told me just before this happened, Timmy was so scared because he felt like somebody was following him that he told her to leave that night, to go home so that she would be safe and that she wouldn't get caught in his crossfire of anything.
Did he ever have a suspicion it was this guy?
He possibly did.
Maybe, but he didn't say.
But feeling like on one hand somebody is made up with you, but also knowing that this guy is known to be cutthroat, to be watching over his shoulder. So that's what he was doing. But he didn't want anybody. Timmy was so caring and passionate for people. He didn't want this young lady to get caught in the middle of anything if it happened.
We want peace.
And you know one thing.
We want peace.
With that,
We want peace. In the streets. 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 We want peace.
that's
We want peace. In the streets. 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 We want peace. 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 We want peace.
How you doing?
all right, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm out for the cause too.
Oh, you just for the event?
I'm shooting a documentary on gun violence.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I have a company called Gun Death Theater, and this is what Gun Death Theater is all about. We got to bring awareness to gun violence in our neighborhoods across the country, and especially right now, you know, with all the stuff going on. So,
Well, you know, we ain't just got to bring awareness to it. We got to get out here in the streets and really, you know, get each individual, you know, and be talking to these individuals. You know, it's one thing to do a march, actually, you know, have individuals walking down the street saying we want peace, but it's got to be action behind that.
we got to physically
That's exactly, that's going to take more than like this. It's going to actually just take the living application trying to produce peace.
walk, and you have to walk the walk. I mean, you got to be willing to stand in front of the bullet. That's the way I do it. That's what people are doing when we say, no, we don't want this anymore. You know, we have to prove it. How bad do we not want it? And this is how bad we want it. This is a start. But it's going to take voting is what I'm trying to get young people to think about. Take them back their rights. Because they're not going to be right to give. We have to actually vote and put the people in office who are going to give you that's all.
I would say one of the things is, you know, we got to really change our economic condition. You know, in the United States, blacks are the worst on the economic scale percentage across the globe. So when you really think about it, a lot of violence comes from, you know, not being economically stable. So, you know, the police can be of a presence right here, right now, but at the end of the day, you got 4 doors of success that you're going to actually walk through, you know, in America. And that's crime, a job, education, or the small, narrow door of sports and entertainment. You know what I mean? So
I've tried all of those routes, you know, and I mean, but my foundation has always been the church, and I don't see as many young people relying on it now because it hasn't changed things. They're trying to take back what hasn't been given to them, and it's about time because, you know, people don't listen to you when you're begging.
And the church got a lot of resources because they've been around for a long time, but a lot of them not in the streets.
They don't reach the
a lot of them not in the streets. A lot of them feel like, oh well, I'm not going to do that because that's going to be out of the elements of what it is. But see, to be Christians, to be Christianized in Christ, you know what I mean? And Christ is going to be actually in the streets. He's going to be with these people and actually pulling these people in and doing something about it.
And you know, I hate to say it, but there's not enough diversity in the cause. You know, there's just us, the ones who are being affected by it. I don't know how people can't see what's going on. It baffles me. All the wealth that we have in this country, and none of it can go to helping our neighbors. One day I found
because the real wealth is in the resources of the people.
Well, the people
the real wealth is in these babies.
Right.
You know what I mean? In their mind.
If we
When
can't
they're taking their mind and putting it on negativity, you know, through the media images and any type of, you know, major outlet and institution that we actually got, then that make our job even that much more harder.
And you know what else makes it harder?
What we supposed to be doing.
You know what else makes it harder is when they see the glorification. Like, I mean, you know, Empire is it's a great television, you know, drama. But it's on TV. It's not real life. That's not how we really live.
Ain't no secret.
But what? They
sit
love
down.
this. They
And
love that part.
Yeah, they'll sit down for an hour and watch Empire, but won't sit down in their living rooms for 20 minutes and try and build.
No. And that's why I'm out. I'm trying to work with churches to this is where I'm going to reach the people who are being affected. Okay. And maybe I don't know. I've lived down in Kentwood all my life and never, really had to deal with gun violence or anything like that. But when the job left, I moved to New York. Those streets.
What part of New York?
I was in Manhattan for a long time, but it got too expensive, so I moved to Brooklyn. I've been in the Big B for
What section of Brooklyn did you?
I'm in Park Slope. It's like the nicest neighborhood now. But before, it wasn't so great. And I stuck it out. I stayed where the need was, so I built my little self up. But then, I had to come back to take care of my dad. He just passed away. God rest his soul. But this is what he did. He served.
The best Crown Heights. So I know.
You know what's up. I mean, East New York, nobody wants to go to East New York. Why not? East New York should be banging. It's in New York. But it's a hard neighborhood to live in. And they don't put economic development in the middle of the hood. They take workers, labor comes from the hood, but
that's all the design. That's why we got to stand up and actually be about it. Actually live it out.
Well, that's
this
what
is the ground foundation.
This is it.
This is the
These
ground
guys.
The ground foundation is making people aware. But the real live work come in the application and the service of yourself and the people. We ain't no selfish people. Part of being doing our duty. And our moral compass is what? Righteousness.
Our people are very good. Even after all that's been done to us, to be able to love people the way we do and show it, every single day by not taking out our frustration on the people we even feel they're doing it. We're not doing that, and we don't want to do that. We just want you to see us the way you see your own children, and that's a hard thing. That's a hard thing for people to do when you're not from their culture. We act differently, but we're just like them. I don't think people understand that.
Yeah.
So, you know what? It's been nice talking to you. What's your name?
My name is Divine.
Divine.
Yeah.
Love that name.
Divine. It's powerful. Mean a whole lot.
It's big.
Yeah.
And you know what? You live in Grand Rapids?
Yeah, I'm born and raised here.
What?
I ain't just stayed here though, because the planet Earth is my home.
You know what? I've taken this documentary and I've interviewed 3 women. I've interviewed Barbara Walker, Barbara Thomas, and Mary Elizabeth in Muskegon. I met them through funeral director Gayle Pollard.
Okay.
And this is a part of what I'm doing. I'm going to cover this event for Barbara Thomas, and she and I are going to try to take this message to the rest of the world, the rest of the country, and I'm trying to get to the people who make the laws. Okay, I'm trying to get up to Congress with proof and evidence of people who are concerned about their neighborhoods, and somebody's going to do something. Otherwise, they're not going to be in office. Okay, I want to get everybody to vote. All right, take care. God bless you.
Yeah, you too.
Divine. I'll be looking for you though. Look for me on Facebook, Janice Brown.
Janice Brown.
Yep, Janice Brown. You can. Barbara Thomas is here. You can write Janice Brown. Yep. I was in Lab Fest. I do a lot of trying to do comedy and stuff.
How you spell Janice?
Janice. Let's see if I got a card. Brown. And this is Gun Death Theater. You got to go look at this website. That's the one for gun, and that's my real estate card. I'm real estate in New York. That's how I make a living.
This it right here.
Yeah, with the funny face, with the smiles. Look at these guys.
Right here.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, you get on there.
When you see Divine Booker sent you a...
I'm doing WKTV, so I got a little show, Talking God and Guns with Janice.
In the street. 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 In the street.
mine. You want to be a part of my street team? I got a film. You know Miss Barbara Walker? She goes
Name sounds familiar, but I can't.
Should be a familiar name. 20 years ago, her daughter was murdered by her boyfriend, shot in the back. And every year, Macedonia Church pastor was Mushaki Walker's grandfather, and he just passed away too. He just died. And I had just shot a 20-year anniversary of a memorial that they do for this girl every year at Macedonia.
Yeah.
It was so amazing. I made a film out of it, and it's called Memorial from Mushaki. And that's what I'm going to try to use to go and get the young people. You know, everybody probably knows somebody that has been affected, shot, but family member, friends, and the grieving process is, you know, people don't know how to deal with it because nobody's doing anything about the guns in our neighborhoods, and so I'm going to try to get some legislation, you know, whether it's background check or, you know, what's the other stuff? Background checks, safety features for, you know, and records about who's got the weapons. I think everybody should, you know, and they don't want to. The NRA, they don't want to make any laws, and so our kids just keep getting shot, and they don't, you know, there's what's happening in the streets over in Baltimore and all of that. Yeah. That's stuff that goes on every day, and we still don't even know if there are going to be any charges.
Oh, they charge?
I mean, if they're going to have any convictions. No. They charge, yeah. This is the first time for that. But the stuff they're talking this morning, it just, I mean, I was listening, and that's why I was so late getting down here.
Well, you know, like I was, and I think I made a Facebook post about it, so when you see the friend request on there, you can go on there and see it. Mm-hmm. But I had actually mentioned that in my post once I said, you know, the attorney general or their you know, state attorney, yeah, she did that. However, yeah, she's not the judge and jury, and this is just one case. And at the end of the day, you know, these deaths are like the boiling point for what's actually going on as a normal basis. For instance, she said the man was illegally arrested. These things go on a daily basis, you know what I mean, and how the police conduct actually is in our communities. But so many of us turn a blind eye to it. So many of us really do nothing. You got a lot of people behind jail cells and prison bars right now for that same thing, but they didn't die. You know what I mean?
No, they weren't able to get caught.
Exactly, and this is why we got the highest, you know, incarceration rate, because of this. You know, the school to prison pipeline is real. Everything, you know, it's all real.
This right here is really, this is a small thing that we do, and it's just a group of people in one community, in one city, in one state. You know, this is like a pinprick. This is like a pinprick, yeah, in this whole thing, and the only thing, the only thing we can do is keep on poking, you know.
As well, however, I'm
gonna get one of these.
Go ahead. However, you know, I wanted to know exactly what it was that you were talking about, because looking at this card, yeah, so you'll love this song.
I got CDs.
You know, you'll love.
How much is right here? This one? Yep. Is that it? One? Come on. Let's go. I gotta get all. Hi there. How are you? How are you? I'm good. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, my mom is messed up. She is out of it. 63 years they were married. Wow. 60. He's you know, more or less trying to documentary this thing. All right. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Oh, I gotta get over here. Okay.